Bialetti Moka Express, or macchina in Italian, is an iconic object related to the consumption of coffee in Italy in the 20th century. Almost every family in Italy has one.
This is the Bialetti Moka Express. It is, I think, perhaps the most iconic coffee brewer ever made. You may disagree with me there. You can leave a comment down below telling me why and how I'm wrong, but I would say this is kind of it. This is shorthand for coffee in a whole bunch of situations. You could show me a silhouette of this coffee brewer from any angle, and I would know exactly which coffee brewer it was. The story of the Moka Express, the real triumph of the Bialetti Coffee Company, is an interesting one. The invention of the device goes back to 1933, and if you read about it, there's a little bit of confusion over who the real inventor was. Alfonso Bialetti had started his aluminium company in 1919. He'd returned from an apprenticeship in France and come back home to Piedmont. So obviously his name goes on the patent, but you'll see a name which is Luigi di Ponte. He, I think, was an inventor who worked for Bialetti, so I suspect the patent kind of would belong to both of them. Now, it's actually really difficult to find an original patent. You can find an image online, but you can't seemingly find the actual patent from 1933. It may not actually have been filed at that point. Without seeing the original patent or the original sort of documentation of the invention, you can't necessarily be 100% sure what the actual innovations around the product were, but we have a pretty good idea.
Alright guys, let's make some coffee. Today I'm super excited because we have our good friend James Hoffman, who's an amazing coffee expert. He's going to walk us through how to use one of the most common coffee gadgets, a moka pot. And I actually first was making coffee on one of these back when I lived in France, and I had a tiny apartment, and I actually enjoyed them quite a bit.
They're great. Maybe like me, you hated this thing for a long time, you bought it, you used it once, you thought it was disgusting, you put it in the cupboard. Dig it out, because actually it's probably underrated and does delicious things. They kind of make a coffee that's a kind of halfway house between espresso, which is super strong, and like drip coffee.
Yeah.
However, they have a bad reputation because it's pretty easy to make bitter coffee with them. We're going to do a couple of things today to show you how you can really produce something super delicious.
Okay, first things first, as with all the brewing techniques, grind size is pretty important.
And actually this is where most people make the first mistake and produce a lot of bitterness.
Okay.
We don't want it ground like we would for an espresso machine, which is super fine, like table salt. We want to go just a little bit coarser. So once you ground the coffee, just take this, fill it, but don't push it down.
Just level it off.
Yeah. What you will notice here though is this one is beautifully clean.